going to tell a story about people. People that listen carefully and patiently to their environment and work in harmony with naturally occurring systems. These stories started with vision and passion. I am sure they will grow. I am sure they will grow because I gave them plenty space, lots of water, and healthy soil. We should take the time to listen. We can learn a lot from what they have to say, how they behave, how they react. We could always look closer and appreciate in finer detail the never-ending series of ecosystems, these tiny creatures at work, day and night, systems that are mostly invisible to us, but are immensely valuable for the food we eat and the air we breathe. Our story begins at a regenerative farm in Germany. Jasper and Anna have made it their life's work to supply the most healthy vegetables and chicken eggs directly to their customers. They strictly don't use large machinery or synthetic pesticides. They keep their soil healthy by also giving nutrients back to the ground. I first visited Jasper and Anna in the last week of March. They had just started planting for the new growing season. First, I couldn't believe that this system would work. No machines, all planted by hand. How can this work economically? It seemed impossible, like a salmon swimming against the river current.
The main focus of this farming project would be, well, it's changed since the start. So at the start, when we started the farm, from what I knew, there was no other regenerative farms in Germany practicing the type of farming that we do here. So our goal was to raise awareness of a different type of farming that could produce food while caring for the earth and regenerating the piece of land that we work with.
While I took care of the new tomato plants.
Yeah, that's on.
And learned how to arrange a new bed of soil. Witnessing how Jasper worked on the farm, I got a sense of stability, and I felt assured that the system could work.
And now, 5.5 years later, that's slowly changing a bit. There's lots and lots of farms have been popping up all around the place, practicing regenerative agriculture, which is great. And there is other farms who are more focused on, also teaching and spreading ideas of different practices that you can do, so that we now try and focus a bit more on our local community and producing high quality, nutritiously dense food for our local community. At the same time as also, still raising awareness, but not on such a big scale anymore. More focusing in on the smaller scale and teaching the people around us, the people that we provide food or vegetables, eggs, stuff like that, what it means to eat healthy, but also to look after the earth while producing vegetables.
When did you decide that you wanted to be a gardener for a permaculture farm?
That was probably like 2 years ago. I was still in my master's program studying, and I just realized that I needed more practical work instead of sitting in the office all day, and and then I found this whole like market garden movement, and I was super intrigued.
With my new experience on the regenerative farm, I wondered if there's also people that work with regenerating soil in an urban environment. As cities grow ever larger, it could be beneficial to have more small food growing centers to keep the cities green and full of life. Jasmijn invited me to her small plot of land in Amsterdam, where she persuaded the municipality to transform this plot of grass into a small market garden for the neighborhood to use freely. It has to be said that it has been surprisingly effective.
Wat wij hebben aangevraagd bij de gemeente en die heeft goedkeuring gegeven voor onze tuin. Daarvoor hebben we subsidie gekregen, €3000. Het heet een bewonersinitiatief. En daarmee hebben we de basis gelegd voor deze tuin. Dus het hek en de grond. En dan moeten mensen zelf hun eigen plantjes en zaden kopen. Het idee is dat iedereen zijn eigen stukje grond heeft. Dus het is een beetje een schooltuinidee, alleen dan voor grote mensen. En op elk strookje kan iedereen verbouwen wat zij of hij lekker vindt. Doordat ik eerst in de Pijp in Amsterdam woonde, waar ik mijn eigen tuin ook heerlijk vond. Alleen de buurt steeds minder leuk met de drukte en de chaos. En toen kon ik op een gegeven moment hierheen komen. En dat was een enorme verbetering qua buurt en qua huis, alleen geen tuin. En toen heb ik met mijn buurvrouw rond de tafel gezeten. En toen zei ze, het lijkt me zo leuk om een tuintje te hebben. En zo is het idee geboren. En plannen ingediend bij de gemeente en goedkeuring gekregen. Ik denk dat ik niet zo echt een visie had. Ik denk dat ik gewoon...
Gewoon beginnen.
Ja, nou ja, het leek me heel erg leuk om uit de tuin te kunnen eten. En ik vind het stukje biodiversiteit heel erg belangrijk. Ik vind de natuur gewoon belangrijk. Ik vind gezond eten belangrijk. Ik vind een goed contact met je buren belangrijk. Maar ik had niet echt een visie. Het waren gewoon allemaal dingen die ik belangrijk vind. En die kwamen per ongeluk zo samen of zo. En dat is heel erg goed verlopen en gegaan. Maar ik keek niet vooruit. Nee.
Nou, klinkt goed.
Their projects bear an infectious quality that educate and motivate the public to embark on their own journey of learning.
Als gewoon bos uit, dan pluk je die stengels eraf en dan kun je dat gewoon door je salade gooien of zo. Maar ik vind het zo'n leuke plant. echt super blij mee.
Growing. I've always found it fascinating to witness the growth cycles of nature. Seeds that emerge from the ground become plants that can grow to immense sizes. The landscape turns green in spring, while in autumn returning nutrients back to the soil with the decay of the plants that function for just 1 year. I ask them what they have learned on their journey so far.
So the biggest changes we'd noticed in the local area at the start when we started the project, there was quite a lot of doubt that something like this would work and that you could make a living from it. And that was one of the biggest changes as people seen the farm develop and seen that it's been successful. I think that changed quite fast, that they thought, okay, there is something going on here and it works. And that made people interested to see, okay, what exactly is going on here. And then I could slowly share the ideas of why we're practicing regenerative farming, what our goals are and what we're trying to achieve.
Well, at times it can be very physically challenging. That's not necessarily something that I don't like, but especially in summer, like in the peak of the season, sometimes it's really tough, like getting up early, physical work every single day, and then if you have sort of things that are just moving slowly. For example, there's this time in every season where weeds just grow like crazy, and it can sometimes be a bit frustrating, having this like endless tasks. But I wouldn't actually say that I don't like that about it. It's just part of it.
And we've given quite a lot of tours, had a lot of open days, and received huge support and interest, which was really nice. I gave a lot of tours, and there's always people, they know that we have to care for the environment, but people are not sure how to do that and where they can start. So we give the idea that you can start by eating food that's produced in a good way, that's looking after the environment, looking after the soil. And I think that's probably the biggest effect that we've had is our group of customers who are learning to eat responsibly and buy responsibly when it comes to food.
What steps did the seed have to take to achieve that full growth? What did it take to get there? The same can be asked about Jasper's and Jasmijn's project.
I see Halabar carrying on as we have started, so we want to keep producing good quality, nutritionally dense vegetables and eggs, and we want to keep explaining to people why these things are important. I can also see Halabar evolving in certain ways. There's a few other projects that we would like to do in the future. For example, Anna and myself are both yoga teachers, and we would like to integrate that into the farm a little bit to have an area where we can teach yoga, and through that also maybe raise awareness about people that are interested in yoga. Maybe we can say, look, we're also practicing regenerative agriculture, this is why it's important, but just generally carrying on as we're going at the moment, and just producing the best quality food that we can, and constantly learning and teaching at the same time. There's a lot of people that now look to us for ideas, as we were one of the first to start regenerative market gardening in Germany, with that scene yet now really expanding. There's a lot of people looking to the people who started first of how to evolve their projects and how to do things in a way that is good to make a living from it, and that's all directions that we would like to keep focusing on in the future.
Both have learned a lot by listening to their environment and continue to experiment with the knowledge they have about the growth cycles of their own self-built ecosystems. One good example of this is Jasper's chickens. They noticed the chickens destroy the grass vegetation while they walk and graze. So, they made a mobile chicken home. Now, in spring and summer, their place to graze changes every other day, and the grass fields have time to recover, allowing the field to have a balanced ecosystem. As humans, we also have to know how much land we have to take to produce the right amount of food. When will it be enough?
Well, Jasper does share his vision. I think it would be not growing excessively, you know. I think at some point there is a size and a place where you should also sort of be content and be like, okay, this is how far I go. But I think in the future, like already now, there's so many people coming through the farm and leaving the farm with all sorts of ideas of how to grow food and how to actually change something in agriculture. So I think in the future even more hellebore will be a multiplying factor to the whole market gardening movement, and it's just gonna get better.
For Jasmijn, it's a different story. Living in the middle of the city of Amsterdam, she turned space that was otherwise just grass being mowed into a space that is now beneficial for humans and many other animals too.
Ik ben ontzettend veel meer betrokken geraakt in de buurt, bij de mensen. En daarin ben ik denk ik heel erg veranderd en gegroeid. Waar ik eerst in de pijp veel anoniemer was en een veel anoniemer bestaan leidde, ook al was het daar veel drukker en veel meer mensen, is de verbondenheid hier met de buurt ontzettend vooruit gegaan en daarom ben ik gegroeid.
Many other small community gardens are now popping up in the same neighborhood as Jasmijn's. The knowledge is being shared, and people realize they are not reliant on one big system. A small garden can have a large effect on a neighborhood. How can we give back? What can we give back? I think we can all have a different role within the concept of giving back, just like plants do, unconditionally.
On the side of the garden we put in a hedgerow, and the hedgerow for us has many benefits. Well, for a start, our neighbour is conventional grower who uses a lot of pesticides and different things, which means we don't want pesticide blow off coming onto our farm, so it's nice to have a nice thick hedgerow to prevent things like that. But also the hedge has many other benefits. For example, like I already touched upon, we have wildlife habitat. There's lots of different forms of wildlife that like to live in a hedgerow. For example, your birds or insects or different things, and having an ecosystem that's intact around our farm helps mitigate many problems that could arise. For example, there could be the case that, every year the aphid population explodes in spring. So it won't be long now until the aphids start coming out, and aphids, they go onto our plants, our vegetables, and suck out some of the goodness and like to have that for themselves. And many farmers will deal with pest cycles in that they will use some sort of a pesticide, insecticide to kill these animals.
We can build habitats in our gardens to support smaller ecosystems.
For us, we want to have a working ecosystem that regulates itself. In this case, in the case of aphids, it would be one of the natural enemies is the ladybug. So having natural habitats around the garden where ladybirds can hide over the winter, survive over the winter, means that as soon as the aphid population starts to flourish in the spring, their natural predators are already on site, and they will come, they will lay their eggs. The aphid larva can eat, I'm not exactly sure about the number, but around 100 little aphids a day. So as soon as you have a few ladybug larvas around the farm, then that problem sorts itself out really fast. And there's lots of small ecosystem niches that lots of different animals will occupy if they have the right space, and a hedgerow for us is a really easy way to make a nice habitat for these animals or insects to live in.
We can actively seek out sources like Jasper's farm and choose a food source that also has this giving back cycle.
Welche Gründe gibt es für euch, hier einzukaufen, neben der örtlichen Nachbarschaft?
Ja, weil es biologischer Anbau ist und weil die Produkte eben immer sehr frisch sind. Und man kennt Anna und Jasper und dann sucht man sich das aus, was gerade frisch da ist.
Anna und Jasper machen eine tolle Landwirtschaft, also die Art direkt vor Ort, nach biologischen Standards, mit Rücksicht auf den Boden, im Kreislauf. Also das ganze Arbeitsmodell überzeugt mich und es ist een Dorf weiter. Das is geniaal.
Ik weet niet of het per se aan de hele stad bijdraagt, maar wel aan deze buurt. Ik denk dat sommige mensen die anders niet zoveel naar buiten zouden gaan, in één keer naar buiten komen omdat ze een doel hebben. De sociale interacties zijn echt veranderd tussen de mensen die hier met elkaar bezig zijn, maar ook mensen die langslopen. Dus ik denk dat het een stuk socialer is geworden.
Ja. Een soort van buurtcentrum.
Nou ja, zonder overkapping, ja. Ja, een beetje wel.
The changing climates are making it harder to consistently grow food on healthy soil and land. Extreme weather makes it very costly to grow on large amounts of acres.
En voor insecten?
Voor insecten, ja, het is heel slecht dit jaar. Het is echt zorgwekkend. Waar we vorig jaar, ik zag rond deze tijd heel veel zweefvliegen en sluipwespen, etc. En het is dit jaar echt heel erg slecht. Maar alles is onbespoten, dus als ze er zouden zijn, dan zouden ze hier echt wel op het goede adres zijn. Maar het is dit jaar dus echt slecht.
Well, I really enjoy working with plants in general. I always have. I think the most amazing part of it is to be able to watch the crops grow and then eventually reaching their customer, because we're our marketing system is direct marketing, so we see the customers, we know who's gonna eat it, and people generally are very happy about the food. So I think that whole process to watch a seed grow into a plant, grow into a vegetable, and then the smiles on the faces of the customers. I think that whole process is like what I really enjoy about it.
Storm coming?
I am sure they will grow because I gave them a healthy life cycle. Planting, growing, giving back.